Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. You join me over here at the hub with my Tesla Model S. Now, I have not shown you this car in a little while, and I've made some upgrades. So some of you may remember I bought this car almost 3 years ago, and while this is not really an ownership update, I will give you a 3-year ownership update. I have made some changes and some modifications to my Tesla Model S, really to give it the next lease on life. I kind of had to make a decision. Do I keep it? Do I sell it? What am I going to do with it? And at least for the time being, I've decided to keep my Tesla Model S Plaid with some upgrades. So let me walk you through what I've done. Should just be a quick, fun video for you. And we are getting into an update on my Tesla Model S. Well guys, for the review, I am wearing my new Tsar Bomba watch. They sent me this to share with you as part of my review. And one of my favorite things about this particular watch is it's totally customizable. So while it has this really nice face on it with this sapphire crystal right there, really cool timekeeping piece as well, I can actually change the cover and the band to really whatever I want. And here I've selected both a white and black version for the Tsar Bomba watch. Not only is this watch fully customizable, it's also water resistant up to 300 feet and is truly a versatile watch you can dress up and wear every day. There is a discount code. I'm going to leave it linked in the description below, but just like I've modified my car, I can actually modify my new watch, and hopefully you'll be able to do the same. So shout out to Tsar Bomba for sponsoring this video with this watch, and now back to the main one. Well guys, we've made some changes. The Model S has been around since 2022, the summer of 22. We're going into the summer of 25. So just shy of 3 years of ownership for this one, but not by much. I really am getting close. And I'm gonna have a full 3-year ownership update for you with all nerd data and stuff. But I thought I'd share with you what I've done really to get it ready. And so the biggest and most notable change that you'll see is the car is always been black, but now it's actually satin black. And this car has upwards of 44,000 miles on it now, plus or minus. We haven't driven it too much, but we used it in the I-90 Surge. It's been on plenty of road trips, and really the Model S Plaid, this one is my long distance car. When I have a place to get to in a car, you know, very often Salt Lake City or Kansas City or something like that, you know, where we have, you know, we're kind of in the Denver area, right in the middle of two big areas without major cities. You got to drive pretty far to Vegas and stuff like that. This is the car I take. It's got fairly good range, pretty good charging performance, especially for a Tesla. It did really well in the 10% challenge. We're not talking Lucid Air or Porsche Taycan levels of road tripping, but for me and my needs, it's totally fine. I recently drove this down to Austin, Texas and back, and actually was totally fine with the range and charging. And so this is really my road tripping car. However, I also like to take this out on track and like to really use it. And so I've done some upgrades with the Tesla Track Pack. So we'll talk about that in a minute. I want to talk first about this new satin black situation. One of the problems I had with this car, and it's not necessarily a problem, but when I first bought it, I had Colton detail it to the nines, absolutely insane, go through and polish the paint and ceramic coat it, and it looked perfect. And then I drove the car. It's been on gravel roads, it's been to track days, it's been on road trips, and we really peppered the paint with rock chips throughout. It also had a little incident with Jordan. We actually had to redo the paint correction after that incident, we're going to call it. There's a whole video on this channel documenting what happened when it got slid into a curb. And so the paint had already been corrected twice. The paint had already been coated twice. And I just felt like there was really almost no hope visually remaining for the raw, naked paint on the vehicle. It's just covered in rock chips. So I talked to my buddy Eric at Drive Protected, who runs a fantastic shop that makes Tesla-specific sort of paint protection film and vinyl wraps and a bunch of really cool products for Tesla vehicles and others. And he'll do custom wraps and everything. And I said, dude, do you think we could wrap my car? And he basically said, no, if we wrap over all the rock chips, you're gonna have all these pit marks. It's not gonna lay down right, and it's just gonna look pretty bad. And I thought, well, that's kind of a bummer. What can we do? Because I don't want to have to repaint the car. You know, I would never do that. It would just be something I would live with. And seriously, like, these whole rocker panels were chewed up. The paint was gone. Colton has a whole video documenting this entire process on the Out of Spec detailing channel. And so if you want to learn more about this process, we've have, I don't know, hours of videos of this. And Eric said, hey, I actually have this material that he specifically developed. And it's essentially this Defense Plus with color infusion PPF. So he thought, and it actually worked out maybe better than we expected, we should PPF the car, but use a black colored PPF. So you can actually use this exact film to color change a, you know, gray car to black, or a red car to black, or black car to red, or whatever. It's basically a colored paint protection film. And his whole thought process was, okay, well, the rock chips are going to shine through if you use a satin PPF, which was kind of our idea. But if it was color infused, you wouldn't see it, maybe, was the idea. And it's came back brand new. We put on all the bumper was chewed up. We put on Eric Drive Protected's new film all over the car. It's hidden every single rock chip. It's absolutely unbelievable how it looks like a brand new car now. And I couldn't be more thrilled with this color infused Defense Plus satin PPF in this case. And we've gone satin black. And I have to really commend Eric's job of installation, wrapping all of the edges. He did a custom job on this. It took him almost a week to do it. He really took his time, because one of my biggest issues with wraps and other things is having edges that peel up. I really did not want to see anything come up on this car, and he did just an absolutely amazing, thorough, insane job. And I have to say a huge thank you to him for doing it so that I could share it with you in the videos. I mean, he's one of the nicest guys, great business, and Colton and him, I think, will hopefully come up with something to do together one day, because we love Eric's business, and Colton and him get along great. And so I'm just thrilled that we were able to get this car wrapped, and how it really hid all of the damage underneath the satin PPF. It genuinely looks like a brand new Model S. I couldn't be more thrilled, and I love not the matte finish, but the satin finish, which is very similar to my Polestar, where you do see some sheen, some shine come through. Colton actually coated on top of it already, even though it has like a ceramic coating infused, and it just brought a little bit of gloss out, which I was looking for, and it came out great. So that's what we've done to the color. If you come around back, you can see it as well. Just absolutely came out great. I've left the gloss black trim gloss black, because I thought that was a really nice contrast around the entire thing. And man, does it just look just absolutely insane from my perspective. Really couldn't be more thrilled. I've got an issue back here actually where this will come in my ownership update. My whole brake light burnt out back here, like sections of it. So Tesla had to replace the entire rear piece of glass, and then it's been chewing my this car just never ends with problems. It's been chewing up my seal here on the roof. So now I think they're going to have to replace the glass again. So it's back to Tesla service we go. Okay, so that was stage one, was get it visually looking great. Stage two was, I used to run the Mountain Pass Performance big steel brake kit on this car, and it was mostly a front and rear rotor upgrade. I used a little bit more aggressive pad compound, and I was always a fan of steel brakes over carbon ceramics. I think we can all agree the Plaid ships with absolutely criminally small and underperforming brakes for a 1,000 horsepower car, which I do use as intended on track. And well, so I knew the first thing I had to do when I got this car, we've talked about it before, was upgrade the brakes. So I went with the Mountain Pass Performance brakes, and I'm a huge fan of Mountain Pass Performance stuff. I have my entire Model 3 kitted out with them. Timon's Model 3 is completely kitted out with them. Colton's Model 3 is completely kitted out with them. We love Mountain Pass Performance. However, I think I was using not really the best pad compound with the rotor, and I was getting a lot of vibrations hitting the brake pedal, and just not the bite and response I was really looking for out of the braking system on the car. So when we ended up using the Model S for the i90 Surge, I was kind of thinking, well, maybe this is the last big video we use the Model S in, and you know, we put the car back to stock, put the stock brakes on it, put the aero wheels on it so that we could use it for the Surge. And then, you know, I came to the time where I was like, okay, do we upgrade this car? Do we sell it? What do we do? The thing is, it's not worth anything. This car is worth like $45,000, maybe less. That's on a good day, 45 grand. Keep in mind, I paid over $140,000 to this car. So basically a whole brand new Cybertruck fell out of the trunk. Absolutely screwed on this one. And look, I should probably I'll run the numbers in my ownership update. So I'm not asking for you guys to feel sorry for me. I was able to use it for content. It's been my daily driver. I've loved having it, really have loved having it. But financially, just don't buy new electric cars. Lease them or buy them used. We've all learned our lesson, and man, did I get burned on this. So I'm already into this for stupid money. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna keep it, I kind of want to maybe, you know, track it a little bit more. It's unbelievably fast. The drivetrain is stout on these things. So I went over to Tesla and bought the Tesla Track Pack carbon ceramic brake upgrade. And holy smokes, these are massive. So Tesla, it took them about a week and a half to install it or so, mostly because they didn't start on the project for a while, but the whole thing came in a giant pallet, and they used these surface transform rotors, AP Racing stuff, I believe, as well, but it's essentially a $15,000 braking package directly from Tesla, which also comes with a software change on the car. So the Track Pack comes in two flavors. You can get just the brake and the software portion, which is classified as the Track Pack, and then you can get the wheel and tire package on top of that. Now, I'm a huge fan of Martian wheels. I already have these 295, 35, 20, you know, square setup, basically 20 by 10.5 Martian wheels already on the car. I think it looks amazing. I still think these look better than the Tesla Track Pack wheels, and it's a lot of money. Now, granted, I had a lot of Tesla referral credits to use. So while this didn't cost me $15,000 to do the brakes, I don't think it would be worth that. It cost me about $4,000 to do the brakes because, yet again, I stole my dad's Tesla referrals. Shout out of Spec Dave, and shout out all the viewers who used you know, his referral code. My dad already bought his Model 3 Performance. He has no plans to buy another Tesla in the near future. And I was like, Dad, what are you going to do with all these referral points? He's like, well, I don't know. I'll just let them expire or buy wall connectors and sell them on eBay. I'm like, no, I'm stealing those. So he was super gracious enough to let me, you know, basically dump into his bucket. He had about $10,000 worth of credits, which is unbelievable. I basically just went into his account because the Model S is shared to him, purchased the Track Pack, put the remaining just over $4,000 on my card, and for basically, to my cost, about $4 grand, got a full carbon ceramic brake upgrade, 6-piston front, 4-piston rear with the auxiliary parking brake in the back. It's a legit piece of braking kit. Absolutely insane braking performance, and it comes with software changes that I believe change some of the thermal management systems, some ESP calibrations, and most exciting for me, unlocks the top speed of up to 200 miles an hour and over now for the Model S Plaid. That's a video we have to do. We have to get this thing over 200 miles an hour for a video. We've had the Taycan Turbo GT right up to 200 miles an hour on the Autobahn. The Lucid Sapphire also should have a top speed of over 200 miles an hour, and now this one does. I think you can sense where I'm going with this. One of the reasons I wanted to put the Track Pack on my Model S was for an upcoming review series where we're going to go Model S Plaid versus Lucid Sapphire versus Taycan Turbo GT. Probably not the Visoc. I would prefer to do the 4-seat one because that's more fair to the other cars. And this is by far the best value in terms of dollar rate compared to the other two. You can have a new Plaid for around 100 grand these days, not when I bought this one, but the other cars are $250,000. I think it would be an awesome head-to-head. So that's one of the reasons I spent the money to get the official Tesla Track Pack brakes on here. Now, when that video comes, I'm going to have to get, and maybe Tesla will send them to us. They've sent us wheels and tires in the past. Perhaps I'll have to buy them, but I'm going to get the factory Track Pack wheel and tire on here as well, just to make a fair comparison to the other cars. I would never run a modified vehicle against an OE vehicle in a test like that. So I really like that with just a wheel and tire change, I can have the factory OE Model S Plaid with Track Pack upgrade ready to rock and roll against some heavy hitter competitors in the electric electric sedan space. So, you know, big shout out to Out of Spec Dave for letting me steal his credits. He was going to let them expire. I said, no, let's put the brakes on the Plaid. He said, great. I covered the difference and we're good to rock and roll. Just absolutely love having my dad be so supportive of my stupid endeavors here. So that was really fun. Again, it didn't really cost him anything, but again, I'm extremely thankful that he let me use his credits here. So that is why I ended up putting, you know, a few $1,000s into the Model S. And also for the upcoming series where I really do want to pit this against the other ones. And then really other than that, I've got my Martian wheels back on there. Like I mentioned, these are my 20-inch set. My Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires are not really cutting it for what I need. I'm probably going to have to go for a Cup 2. This is just a heavy car and 295 square. Yeah, it's just not enough tire. For the front, it feels pretty good. I probably should run a little bit wider wheel in the rear with like the 315 or something and go up to a pretty spicy tire. But keep in mind, not only is this is not just a track car is what I'm trying to say, it's also my daily driver. So I do like the balance of having a square setup because I'm just always have a little bit of rotation. And you guys know I like to always just have some opposite lock wherever I'm going. And while 295 square sounds like a pretty beefy setup, for something this heavy, it's really not. And the Pilot Sport 4S, this is a Porsche spec tire. It's not totally incredibly aggressive compared to what the car can handle. And the Tesla Track Pack comes with the Goodyear Supercar 3R tire, even wider in the rear. And that's probably the move to go with, you know, for at least the track comparisons. The only other thing I was thinking about doing, because again, like I mentioned, my dad was cool enough to let me burn his referral credits on the Tesla Track Pack upgrade, was I of course, a lot of our viewers have used my Tesla referral points. So I've been considering upgrading the interior of the Model S with the new Model S Plaid interior. And Tesla makes it available at somewhere around $5,000, which I would never spend money to do this. But if I'm not buying another Tesla, the referral credits will go to waste. And I would upgrade with the new Plaid seats, which look really cool and actually hold you in a little bit better. It's not a huge need on my list. It's pretty low down. It's just, if I genuinely am not going to spend the referral credits on anything else, I'm not going to let them expire. I feel like that would be kind of a cool thing to upgrade in here, but it doesn't change the functionality of the car. And so I'm really not too, it's not high on the priority list. The brakes were needed. I've always kind of been against carbon ceramic brakes in general because they make a lot of squeaking sounds. They're great for brake dust. They're great for reducing unsprung mass. So the car should accelerate better. It should handle better. It should ride a little bit better. And actually it does. It's a pretty big difference just in terms of the overall ride and agility of the car. I can definitely tell we've lost some weight on each corner. And of course the Martian wheels are much lighter as well compared to the 21 inches I had on there before. But my biggest concern with the ceramics were really just burning them up. They have a great thermal ability and they just work amazing even at high temperatures. But if you overheat them, they can actually lose mass. They don't really lose thickness, they lose mass to the point where you'll have to replace them. And again, it's very expensive to replace these rotors. However, I really think with my use case, and I'm not going out on track and just pounding it lap after lap for 30 minutes at a time, and I can manage brake temperatures a little bit, I think this set of brakes should last the lifetime of the car, assuming I don't get the temperatures up too high. I can replace the pads, keep a lot of pad thickness on there to help absorb some heat, and I'm really gonna try and take care of these. I've already gone through and bed in the brakes properly, so I've done the built-in burnishing process, which Tesla allowed me to do, which was basically 30 times in a row. I have a whole Out of Spec Bits episode coming on this. 30 times in a row going from 60 miles an hour down to 45 miles an hour, just right in between those speed ranges at 25 bar on the brake booster. So they get you up to speed, hold the brakes at a constant pressure, which is a pretty quick slow down to 45, off the brakes you are, and you just do it 30 times in a row with a cool down process in between. That helps bed the pads into the rotors, and the ceramics have a different burnishing process than the steel brakes that come with the car. And Tesla has a specific program on breaking in these ceramic brakes, and that will come again on Out of Spec Bits. So, while I do feel a little bit Well, first of all, the car's lost a lot of value. The content value of the car, like making YouTube videos for cars, I always like to have cars that are relevant to you guys. So the consideration on selling this was actually pretty strong. However, to think about getting, you know, $40,000 or $45,000 maybe on a good day for 1,000 horsepower, you know, vehicle that still handles great, drives great. You know, a lot of people have driven like early versions of Model S tuning and say they don't handle that great. I actually really love the way this thing drives now with this wheel and tire setup, with these brakes. It's really fun, really enjoyable, and mind-bendingly fast. It just is kind of cool to have that thing. And, you know, if it was worth 60 grand, 65, 70 grand, I'd probably already have sold it by now. But I feel like, you know, Eric being such a cool guy, going in and doing the Defense Plus wrap, you know, plus having Tesla referral credits to burn on the brakes. Now I'm actually excited to get back in and drive this car. It feels new, it feels fresh, and I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit longer at least. And who knows what the future holds, but I've sort of had a renewed love for the car. And I'll go through it in my ownership update, but I've had so many problems fixed under warranty. It's had to go in 1,000,000 times to Tesla. And who knows, maybe I'll try and see if they'll buy this one back like they're buying my Cybertruck back, but I think we're past that time. It's at least worth the question. If they'll do that, then see you later, Model S Plaid. But, you know, for 40 grand, this is all the car in the world to have. It's pretty impressive for what it can do. So let me know if you think I'm crazy for keeping it. Let me know if you think I'm crazy for upgrading it. Again, I think the costs were very minimal from my side for the sort of next stage in life. A lot of that is just thanks to you guys for using the out-of-spec referral codes when buying Tesla. And again, whenever we do use referral codes, the whole idea is to invest that into content that would be interesting for you. So the whole idea here is to get the track pack on the car so we can actually do a hardcore, you know, probably week-long comparison of Sapphire, Plaid, Turbo GT, ripping on track, definitely a road trip component, and really put them all side by side in a bunch of conditions, including a drag race. Why not? We got to do it. And I'm just absolutely thrilled with it. So I'm sure we're going to hear all the comments in the video as to why I'm right or wrong for doing this. But in general, I'm just happy to get in the car every day again. Again, just a few $1,000s out of pocket from my actual cost, and it feels like a new car. I'm excited to drive it. It's fast as hell. It stops amazing now. The brake pedal has firmed up. The absolute grip from these brakes, when you stand on the pedal, it's like dropping the boat anchors back. It's awesome. And I'm just going to be really mindful of not burning them up, being hard on it too much on track. So with all that said, that is my, I would say, version 2 of the Tesla Model S here on Out of Spec. Definitely go watch on our Out of Spec detailing channel the paint protection film installation job by Eric. He also has some tutorials. They did some really interesting stuff over here in the wheel wells because the paint was just completely destroyed. They had to do some special tricks to get the paint protection film to actually lay down. And I couldn't be more happy. So thanks to you guys for watching. Thanks to Sar Bamba for sponsoring this video with my new watch for this video. And we'll see you on another one again soon. Bye-bye.